what's up guys, Houston here, and for those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, as always, salute. Now, today's video is a very interesting video because we're going to really understand the difference between personal credit versus business credit, okay? And the reason I want you all to get a good concept of this is because once you understand some of the things that I'm going to share with you, I promise you, you're going to really try to focus on fixing your personal credit so that you can get to the business side to where you can really get access to that money. So now, what we're going to talk about first is the first 6 things that really make the difference between your personal credit and your business credit. So number 1 is your credit reporting policies, okay? Now, and what that means is basically who do they report to, right? So of course you have Experian, TransUnion, Equifax on the personal side. And then, of course, on the business side, you have Experian, Equifax. Of course, they said Dun & Bradstreet. But in terms of most of the times in funding and stuff, I don't include them. But they are important if you're trying to build up trade credit. So, okay, we'll give it to Dun & Bradstreet on that, all right? Now, like I said, this video, we're going to be talking about the difference between the personal credit and business credit. And one of the bigger difference in terms of personal credit and business credit, again, is in terms of the reporting policies. Now, there are some credit cards, say that you're a person that's trying to build up your personal credit and business credit at the same time. Well, what do you do? Now, this is only if you just focus on trying to build up the personal credit and business credit at the same time, and you don't mind using the same credit card, okay? And that same credit card you're going to use is Capital One and Discover. Now, here's the thing about it that I want to share with you all that's interesting about Capital One. Capital One Spark Business Classic card, okay, where Capital One, they pull all 3 credit bureaus, just like Discover. And when you use the card, they as a business credit card, they used to report to all 3, personal credit as well as the business credit. Well, here's something that they did try to do to try to get more of the business side attention, right? So what they're doing with the Capital One is when you open up a new business credit card, okay, the Spark card or whatever, what they're doing with new accounts now, they're going to start just only reporting on the business side to help you build up your business credit. Now, again, that doesn't say that Capital One doesn't offer credit cards that report on both the business and the personal. But for me, I'm the type of person, if I have a business card, I want to leave everything over to the business. So that's the reason that I just want to put that out there. And of course, with Discover, they report on the personal side as well as the business side, okay? If you want those type of cards. Now, if you don't, stick with me because we're going to really get into it. Now, here's number 2. Number 2 is the credit limits. Now, here's something different. When you're going out for a personal credit card, right, they want all the income in the household, the total income in the household, right? And so in order to help you get qualified for a credit card, especially if you want a larger limit credit card, right? But here's something that I like about the business credit cards. Because not only would they use your personal income, but they're going to use your business income as well. And sometimes with some financial institutions on the business side of things, they may take into consideration your possible earnings. It isn't the money that you already made, it's what you're possibly going to earn in the future. And sometimes financial institutions may take that into consideration, right? So that's the cool part, like when you're trying to use your business credit cards and everything to build up business credit. So that's number 2, talking about the credit limits. Number 3 is the type of bonuses. Now, here's something that I like. Like with your personal credit cards and stuff, they do give you a lot of reward points and everything for using your credit card. But the thing about it is when you use your personal credit cards, what happens? Your DTI goes up. We don't want to go up, right? We want to keep our DTI down, our debt to income down. The reason is because we want more funding. So that's the reason most of the time, if you can avoid it, you don't want to max out your personal credit cards. If you're trying to really build up a lot more points and stuff, as well as take advantage of the write-offs and everything, then you want to do it on the business side with your business credit cards, okay? And so that way, if you max out most of the time when you max out your business credit card, it doesn't influence your personal credit. Okay, so that's the reason that you have the difference between the personal credit and the business credit. But at the same time, we're talking about leverage here. Now, here's the thing about it. I want you to stick with me because I'm going to really break down the true benefits of having business credit. So just let me process this 3 other things that you need to understand, the difference between personal credit and business credit, so we can really dive into the business credit. So stick with me. All right, so here we go. So number 4 you're talking about is balance transfers. Okay, remember, excuse me, I'm talking like I'm in 3rd grade, but remember in a previous video I had stated that about the difference between balance transfer cards and why you want to leverage them to get out of personal credit debt. Now, here's the good thing about consumer personal credit cards, okay? With consumer personal credit cards, they may go anywhere from 12 months, no interest, and higher, right? However, most of the business credit cards, they only go from 6 months up to 12. Now, there is some out there, and they're very few, but the majority, when you're trying to do balance transfers and stuff like that, it's usually on the consumer side that you want to get those cards to try to minimize or reduce your debt or get interest-free loans. But on the business side, they have very few cards that give you 0 interest for 12 months or longer. Okay, so there's very few out there. Now, here's something else. Bookkeeping. This here is so awesome because most people don't think about this. See, on the personal credit side, again, using your credit cards, using more than 30% of it, your DTI goes up, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you guys one secret, and I want you all to pay attention to this, all right? Many of you have been trying to get your credit scores up to at least a 750, all right? And people say, oh, just get your debt down to 30%. Here's the secret. If you can keep your debt down under 10%, then you would see your credit score like fluctuate a lot higher. It's not the 30% threshold. It's under 10%. Now, don't get me wrong, 30%, it does help, and you definitely will keep a high credit score. But if you really want to push your numbers up, you want to try to keep your credit cards under that 10%. So between 9 and 10%, okay, guys? So that's a little secret from me to you that I wanted to share with you. Now, talking back about this bookkeeping, here is something that I love. I love this. See, with the personal credit cards, using personal credit card for business expenses and stuff, it's just a mess trying to keep up with. But with the business credit cards, all these expenses, you know that they're already expenses. So you don't have to worry about it. And I'll tell you something else. If you're using like a software attached to your business credit card, guess what? You can use those same numbers from the expenses on that software, showing those numbers and stuff like that, and the revenue coming in from the software, and you can actually get loans. So there's financial institutions that would look at your software numbers under the business and give you loans. So not only do you get the business credit cards, but you also get business loans. It would help you get business loans, especially if you have bad credit. Okay, so that's the cool part about it. So even though you may have challenging credit, but you're using a bookkeeping software, then they'll look at those numbers and bypass your personal credit to help get you a business loan as well. Okay, so that's number 5. Now number 6, guys, if I'm doing a good job, would you please give me a like, give me a comment, let me know if I'm doing a good job, because I really appreciate it, because I'm really trying to grow the channel and I really appreciate you all supporting me. So if you just give me a like, comment, share, I really appreciate it. Now, here's number 6, consumer protection. Now, here's the thing what most people don't understand, that's really like your biggest danger with personal credit versus business credit. Okay, with personal credit, you have this protection in place. It's been in protection in place since 2009, since Obama was in office. Okay, so it's to protect the consumer. However, there's no real protection on the business side. So say that your credit card starts out at 14%, and then all of a sudden they raise it to 35%. Okay, there's no protection. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. Now, they may extend you a courtesy and keep your interest rate at 14%, but there's nothing really protecting you from them allowing this interest rate to go up. Okay, so you have to be very careful in understanding that, and most people won't share it with you. All right, but I will. Now, let's talk about the nitty-gritty, what we all really want to know. How in the world is business credit better than personal credit? So let's jump into this. Here's number 1. Buying cars for investment purposes. So what I mean by that, you use your business credit card. Say that you have a $25,000 business credit card, and so you may go to an auction online and stuff like that and buy a car, and you may max that business credit card out. Well, the thing about it, one, again, you max the business credit card out, it's not going to affect your personal credit. Okay, because it's a business credit card. And like I said, the only two that would actually affect it is your Capital One and Discover business credit cards. But your Bank of America, your U.S. Bank, your Citibank, your Chase, Wells Fargo, those type of bank credit cards, business credit cards, they won't affect your personal credit. So that $25,000, say that you was buying a car because you wanted to put a car on Turo, or you want to do it for Lyft, you know, or Uber, something that, or even Instacart, right? So that's the thing about it. That's the great thing about it. You may want to use your business credit card to go to, again, like to auctions and stuff. Or you may find somebody on Craigslist, right? You may find somebody on Craigslist that's selling a car. They're selling a car that you say, hey, that's a good opportunity right there. Let me use my business credit cards. Now, here's the strategy. So you can't, most of the time people won't accept your credit card, right? Because then to them, like, something's fishy here, fraud or whatever. But here's what you can do. All right. You can go to a company like Plastic, P-L-A-S-Q, P-L-A-S-T-I-Q. Here, P-L-A-S-T-I-Q. You can go to plastic.com. Okay. And you can add your business credit card to there. Now you find somebody that has the car that fits your criteria, like you said. You're trying to start on Turo, Lyft, or something like that. And what happens is you put your credit card on Plastic, then Plastic will send them out a check. Or they'll do an electronic transfer. Okay? So that way, again, you're using your business credit card, but now instead of, like, some people would do cash advances. Well, you don't have to do a cash advance and be charged a higher interest rate, because if you do it this way, you're actually making a purchase and they're just sending out a check. So you're not being charged a cash advance fee. So that's the reason that I'm showing you these strategies, so that way you know, oh, okay, I got this business credit card. So instead of giving somebody just your credit card information or taking a cash advance or whatever, also this will protect you. So say that somebody sold you a car, right? And it's a lemon or whatever, right? And they don't want to give you back your money. Well, you made the transaction through plastic. So you have all of your documents and records. And so you know that, hey, okay, you don't want to give me my money back. Then what I can do a chargeback. All right? That's one way to do it. Or if you decide you want to, hey, take them to court. All right? But at least you have your documentation. Now, that's one way that business credit cards work. Now, here's another way. Real estate investment. I know a lot of people, they're trying to get into real estate investing. They're like, hey, that's where the money's at. You know, and there's nothing wrong with real estate investing. I'm just not a real estate guy. So, but there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people profit from it. And I'll tell you one thing that they're doing. They're doing this strategy called subject to. Okay? And just briefly, in terms of subject to, what they're doing, they're finding people that are in pre-foreclosure, right? And they're just approaching them saying, hey, let me pay it up for you and stuff. You keep the property in your name, but I'm going to be the one taking over the property. And then what they'll do, they'll probably put it on Airbnb. Okay, they rent the property on Airbnb. Now, as they're making payments and stuff, they may also make a side agreement, right? They make a side agreement that says, well, once we bring the account up to date, we have enough equity, we'll sell the property off and we can split the profits of it, right? So that's an option for them. So that's some basis of subject to. I'm not a real estate person, but it's just a small portion. So don't hold that against me. I'm just giving you some of the pre-basics of what it is. There's more to it, but that's some of the pre-basics of it. Now, in terms of finding people that are in this situation and they need money right away, then of course, again, you have a business credit card. Say that you have a business credit card that's $50K. And you agree to get them $30K, right? Again, giving them a check for transaction, so that way there's true transparency. Because there are some people out there that have been taken advantage of, where they actually approached in a subject to and stuff like that, but they never got their money, you know. So the people stayed in the house, they brought the people up to date, and they never got their money, and they can't do anything about it, right? So you have to be very careful with that. That's the reason that I keep telling you guys, if you're going to be operating any type of business, you really have to set the business up properly. If you want consultation on setting the business up properly, you have questions about structuring your business, click the link below, set up a consultation with three-way funding, okay? Now, let's talk about the number 3, okay? The third reason that business credit kicks the crap out of personal credit, and why I truly encourage people to focus on building up the personal credit, because it's going to give them more leverage on the business side. Okay, so number 3, you're talking about, and that's in the news, cryptocurrency, right? And so with cryptocurrency, there's something that's going on with the IRS right now. They're investigating a Coinbase company and stuff, so I'm not going to say their name or whatever. They're doing an investigation on them, right? But here's the thing about it, I keep telling you guys. If you're going to be dabbling in cryptocurrency, use your business accounts, okay? Business accounts that's completely separated from you, so it'll look like an asset. You're investing in an asset instead of under you personally. Now, here's what happened that you all don't know, and I've made this in a previous video. I guess I need to put that video up, but you all need to understand this. If you make transactions with cryptocurrency, okay, and what they're saying, if it's over 10,000 and you didn't report that, they're going to start going back to people and they're going to start looking at their taxes and stuff. All right. First, they wasn't going to deal with it, but now they would just ask the question, did you make a profit or you sell cryptocurrency or anything like that on your tax form? Well, now they're like, well, if they did $10,000 or more, hey, we want to know if they actually reported that income. So that's the reason I'm telling you guys, when you're dealing with cryptocurrency, I don't care if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, I don't care. Cryptocurrency, period. It should be under your business. I'm telling you, making an asset under your business. Do not keep it under your social. I'm telling you, you're going to be taxed so bad it hurts. So I'm just telling you, you want to always minimize your tax liability and exposure, in which we're going to talk about that. But the main thing about cryptocurrency, say that you wanted to invest in cryptocurrency. Again, you have $25,000, $30,000 on your business credit card and you want to buy cryptocurrency, sending a check through plastic to invest into that cryptocurrency. Because with some credit card companies, they have been known, if you buy cryptocurrency, credit card companies will shut your card down. However, if you make a purchase, not with the, because they'll try to look at it as a cash advance. So this is what you don't want to do. You don't want them looking at the purchase as a cash advance so they can increase your interest rate, or they looking at you buying cryptocurrency, something that we don't deal with, so we're going to shut your card off. It has happened, guys. So I'm just telling you what you want to do. Again, set up a account, put your business credit card on plastic, and then purchase the cryptocurrency that way. All right. So it's an actual purchase through the business account, and they won't hold it against you because it was a purchase transaction instead of a cash advance transaction. Okay. So that's the reason that I'm sharing that with you. All right. Now, number four, we're talking about buying a business. Okay. Now, this is for people like they may look up and they get a $25,000, $30,000 business credit card, and they're like, wait, instead of me starting a new business, I'll just rather buy a business. And most people would try to buy like an e-commerce business, and places you can go to buy like an e-commerce business like Flipper.com. And I'm gonna tell you something else about with Flipper.com. This is the thing about it with Flipper.com. Okay, you have to make sure that their financial statements are the real financial statements. So if you're going on Flipper.com and you're buying a e-commerce website, they have different websites that are already AdSense websites and stuff like that, and they may be putting up their financial statements and stuff. You want to make sure those are the actual real financial statements, and you want to know if they file taxes on those transactions, right? Again, because you don't want somebody's financial liability passed on to you, or they're faking their numbers and they're not showing you the real numbers that they say, because they can say, hey, this website is making $10,000 a month, right? And here's all the numbers, but then when you get it, it's only producing maybe $2,500 a month, if that. Right? Because they're not calculating in the traffic, because sometimes they're not going to give you the stats and the real traffic that they're actually utilizing. So that's something that you have to be very cautious of when you're buying like websites from like Flippa and everything. Now here's another thing. You can go to buybiz.com. I was talking to a client that was planning on moving to Florida, and so he's starting up an icy machine and stuff. Icy, what's that? Italian icy type of business or whatever. And Florida is a very lucrative business. But here's the thing about it: making sure you know the market. So if I was doing that type of business, or say that I was moving out of town and I was looking to start a new business, then I would probably go to a website like buybiz.com and look at that state or look at that city and see who's actually selling their business. And I would reach out to them to see why they're selling it, and in terms of can we negotiate on the numbers. And like if you're able to come in with an all cash because you have a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 business credit card that you're going to max out and it's not going to hurt your personal credit, then that would probably be easier because you're already buying an established business that's generating revenue. So it may be a shoe cleaning business, it may be a hot dog business, or you know, just some people, like again, buybiz.com, they have people on there selling websites as well. You know, it may be a beauty salon, somebody may be selling their chair or something like that. But this is just some options, all right? So number 5, pay less tax. Okay, that's the thing about it. That's the nitty gritty. So you want to be able to make as much money as you can, but at the same time pay less taxes. That's why business credit kicks the crap out of personal credit, because you're able to pay less taxes. Okay, on the personal credit side, like I said, with the personal credit, looking at your personal income, so your personal income, your taxes is what, from 25 to can be up to 40-50%. Okay, and depends on who you are and what state you're in, right? However, on the business side, you may be in a state that doesn't charge business taxes, okay? Or you may be a type of business that has like a lot of advertisement and stuff to help minimize. Or you may have transportation, like I said, have a business set up where you have transportation, where you're doing a lot of miles. You may have toll roads and stuff, like you may be in San Francisco, driving from Oakland to San Francisco back and forth, and you have to pay toll road fees, all these different fees and stuff to help drive down your cost of taxes. Okay, because on the tax side for the business, you're doing anywhere from 15 to maybe 22%, right? So that's the reason you're keeping more of your money to leverage to start up another business. All right. So this is Houston with three-way funding. I hope that your objective in terms of personal credit versus business credit is cleared up. Now you understand why I encourage you to fix your personal credit first and then go after the business credit, because you're going to have more money on the business side, plus you have more leverage. Okay, so this is Houston. For those of you just finding my YouTube channel, again, welcome. Please remember to subscribe. And for those that's been supporting me, salute. Thank you guys.